Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 nominees for Game of the Year have been announced, and we are here to talk about today Best Indie Game category at the Game Awards 2025 because I'm an indie man at heart, so let's get straight into it. First of all, what I'll say about this list is that there doesn't seem to be any real surprises to me, and that's not a bad thing. There are some really great games on this list. There has been some really great games that come out this year, and the fact that 3 of these games are also up for Game of the Year 2025 as well as Best Indie Game just goes to show how far indie games have come this year. And yeah, I've played some of these games and I've not heard too much about some of these games on this list as well. We'll get into all of it. I'm looking forward to seeing what your thoughts on these games are as well, so please let me know in the comments what your opinions are on these games for Best Indie Game this year. So there are 6 games up for Best Indie Game of 2025 this year at the Game Awards, and the first we're going to start with is a game called Absalom. Now, I have to admit, out of all the 6 games on this list, this is probably the game I know the least about, so bear with me on this one. I can tell you from the looks of it, it looks really good in terms of like graphically and how it plays and all that good stuff. I love a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up. I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up with a lot of games like Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, yada, all those kind of good games. And also, like, what this reminds me of, though, is more in the sort of style of the old arcade beat-em-ups, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ones, or the Simpsons beat-em-up game on the arcades. However, this is a roguelike game, which is very popular these days, specifically with indie developers. I heard someone say that it's kind of a good thing that indie developers are making roguelikes because you don't have to use lots of different assets all the time. You can reuse the same ones. Fine, that's an okay thing to say, I suppose. But make no mistake about it, this game does look really good. It's on my list to play for sure when I get round to it. There are so many games to play still this year. There's been so many good games released. I'm going to have links in the description as to where you can find all these games, by the way, but Absalom is looking good. It's getting some great reviews. It came out like about 6 weeks ago on Steam, and it looks really good. I think story-wise, you're trying to retake magic from the Sun King or something, or someone told me that, I don't know. But it's definitely one I don't know too much about, but it does look really good, and I'm excited to see what people think of this game if they haven't picked it up already. Next up on the list, we got Ball Pit. This game has done extremely well since it came out. Again, probably 5 or 6 weeks ago on Steam. This is another kind of roguelike game, so we, got a bit of a trend in the Game of the Year category for Best Indie Game this year. But you have to like upgrade weapons. It's kind of like on a vertical type of plane. When I first saw this, I thought this probably would look quite good on mobile. That's not throwing any shade on this game at all. Don't get me wrong, this game still looks really good, but I feel like on mobile it'd do quite well. You get to fuse balls and upgrade your gear and stuff like that. There's base building involved. It's there's hordes of enemies to destroy, resources to gather and stuff like that. It's a very addictive type of game. You can literally play it for hours. It's one of those time sinks where you'll be playing it for 20 minutes and you think, okay, I'll just go on one more run, that type of thing. And then 6 hours later, you forgot to have dinner because you've literally just been sat here playing this game. And it's just one of those kind of games. Like, I've been finding myself wanting to play a game like this where not like a big story to get involved in or to throw myself in and to get lost in. More a kind of addictive kind of dopamine type effect game where I can just keep playing and only play for 20 minutes if I want, but then again, if I want to play for a long time, then play for a long time as well. Not really surprised that this made it on the list for Best Indie Game of 2025. I think you should check it out. It is a really addictive one, so yeah, look into it. Okay, next on the list, we have got Blue Prince. Now, this game caught some fire when this came out recently, right? Everyone was talking about it. This is like a first-person action-adventure mystery-solving game. Literally come out of nowhere. When this released, I was like, I've never heard of this. What is this? And then all of a sudden, it was getting all these amazing reviews from everywhere, and everyone was talking about it. I was like, I've literally no idea where this come from. This game, I was not following development of it. I didn't know beforehand, before it released, anything about it. I only knew about it when it came released, and yeah, this literally caught fire as soon as it came out because it was just generating so many positive feedback from people that were playing it, from reviewers, everyone around. and it's a different kind of game. We've had a couple of roguelikes on the list for Game of the Year, Best Indie Game this year so far. It's great to see something like this getting a shout as well. Like, that's the great thing about indie games, really, isn't it? You never really know what they're going to come out with next. They're taking a lot of risks, making games that we don't really see big developers make these days. And I feel like without indies, we probably wouldn't have that level of creativity that we have in 2025. So, you know, all credit goes to Blueprints. This is not really my sort of game that I would normally play, but I know a lot of people that would. And, you know, I'm not discrediting a game like this. I never will, because, again, this is something different. This is something unique. And I'm all for it, you know. Let's keep these games coming out, and I really hope it does well and wins at least something, if not Best Indie Game, at the Game Awards this year. Okay, next up, arguably the biggest one on the list. It's Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and is my pick for Game of the Year 2025. Not just Best Indie Game, but Game of the Year 2025, which is also in the running for, and for good reason. This is probably the biggest and best game that come out this year, without shadow of a doubt. And I absolutely fell in love with this game when I first started playing it. This has got everything you want. You know, this is like a big open world JRPG. The storytelling is phenomenal. The voice acting is top tier, literally top tier. The battle system is like a turn-based battle system with inputs that you have to do, which you have to time correctly. It's really, really fun. It's really addictive. There's different difficulty modes. The story is so engaging. The characters are so engaging. If you've not played this game and you love adventure games, you have to try this. Honestly, you do have to try it. What I love about it so much, actually, is the fact that big studios who are making games like this tend to make games that just get bigger and bigger and bigger every single new game they release. Like, I feel like the new Elder Scrolls game will be just massive and much bigger than, say, Skyrim. The new GTA 6 is going to be massive and bigger than GTA 5. And just the new anything is just going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. I love the fact that this game isn't so big. You know, it's about a 30-hour story, which I think is a sweet spot. And I feel like big developers should take note of that one day, because at some point they're just going to get to a point where everything is so big and we can't go any bigger. GTA 7 can't be any bigger than GTA 6. Elder Scrolls 12 can't be bigger than 11. So they're just going to have to hit the reset and be like, we're going to have to just go small again and just start again and do something else. Expedition 33 is very much like that. You don't need it to be so massive and such a long story. We don't need an 80-hour campaign. A 30-hour campaign, perfect for me, especially for a fringe gamer like myself these days and a big indie gamer. So, yeah, I want to see this win so much. It's going to clean up in 2025 Game Awards. It's going to win so many awards. If it doesn't win this one, it's going to win a bunch of awards this year. It would not surprise me. What's your opinion, though? I've had a lot of people say that this shouldn't be classed as an indie game, because it's not an indie game, technically. Because it's got a publisher behind its back inding the game's release, and it's a AA game. Kelper Interactive, they published this game. They publish a lot of indie games, indie titles, and that's why I think it's fine. But tell me what your opinion on that is, because a lot of people are saying it should not be in the category for best indie game this year. Let me know your thoughts. Next up, we are back with another roguelike game. This time, this is Hades 2. This, in my opinion, this is the roguelike of all roguelikes. I absolutely loved the first Hades game. Haven't yet played the second one. I will do, don't you worry about that, but I will be playing Hades 2. Haven't got round to it yet, but there's got to be a reason why Hades 2 is the highest rated game of 2025 thus far. You got that right, the highest rated game of 2025. That's not a fluke. It's lightning striking twice, in my opinion, though, because Hades 1 was such a beast and such a great game. You never thought that Hades 2 could even exceed something like that, but apparently it is. Apparently it's even better than the first Hades game. So therefore it's no fluke as to why it's the highest rated game, and also why it's on this list for best indie game of 2025. Not only that, it's also up for best game of the year in 2025 as well. And I feel like if any game is going to beat Expedition 33, it's probably Hades 2. And that goes with Game of the Year 2025 as well as best indie game. I don't feel like there's another game that could come close to Expedition 33 than Hades 2 could come. I don't think it's going to win. I still think it's Expedition 33, but Hades 2, mark my words, deserves its place to be in the spotlight here because it is a really, really great game. It's the best roguelike game I've ever played in my life. It's so addictive. The weapons, the combos you use between light and hard attack and ranged attacks, and the fact that you can use lots of gods and goddesses to aid you on your quests and stuff, and the boss fights, man. Everything about this game is stylish. The style, the art style of this game, the music as well, and the voice acting. Everything about this is really, really great. Deserves its place to be in the running. I hope it does well in 2025's the Game Awards. Please make sure it does. Support this game because it is so good, honestly. And last but certainly not least, we have Hollow Knight Silksong. The game we waited for so long, almost a lifetime to come out, and it eventually came out this year after delays and setbacks and stuff like that, and teasers on Twitter from Team Cherry. But finally we got the game this year, and it has not disappointed as far as I can tell. I'm going to start playing this game in approximately 2 weeks on stream. So we're starting that in December, and that's probably going to take me a long time to finish. We'll get through it, but this game, you know, it's come out to a lot of respect from the fans that liked Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, the first one, was incredible. You could play 120 hours into that game and still not have everything done. This is arguably one of the best, if not the best, Metroidvania ever made. And so Silksong, its follow-up, had big shoes to fill when it came out. You know, it had a lot to do and a lot to shout for. But you're coming out now, we're playing as Hornet and not the original character from Hollow Knight. But I'm hearing it's really, really good, but I'm also hearing it's very, very difficult. Now, Team Cherry have nerfed the game a couple of times since it was released because a lot of newcomers were experiencing that it's just too hard to get involved in. That didn't disappoint the hardcore Hollow Knight players. You know, they welcomed the difficult challenge in this game, but I feel like because of its difficulty, that might be the reason it probably doesn't win Game of the Year or Best Indie Game this year. It's in the running for both. You know, 3 indie games in there for both of them, which is really, really awesome. But I feel like for that reason, Silksong won't quite win, but it'll win something for sure. It's got its cult following. I'm a member of that, and I will love this game when I start playing it. I love the boss fights in Hollow Knight, the original. They were the best thing about the game, in my opinion. I'm really looking forward to playing through a Metroidvania again, because Metroidvanias are one of my favourites, my top 3 favourite genres in gaming. This game is massive. I can't wait to get stuck into it and learn the new mechanics of how Hornet works, fight loads of new bosses, accept the difficulty challenging, do all the platforming, and just have the best time of my life like I did when I played the original Hollow Knight. So there we have it. They are the 6 nominees for Best Indie Game at the Game Awards 2025, which takes place live on December 11th. And I'm really looking forward to seeing who wins this one. I feel like it's going to be Clair Obscur Expedition 33. But Hades 2 as well, you know, it's up there, but it's Clair Obscur for me. What are your thoughts? Who's going to win? Do you like the list of nominees this year? Do you think there's maybe a game that has been snubbed? You know, it happens. Has a game been snubbed this year? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. But yeah, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 all the way for me. Before we wrap things up, it's worth mentioning that there's also debut indie game category at this year's The Game Awards, which includes Blueprints, Clair Obscur, Despilote, Dispatch, and Megabonk. So 5 nominees going in for debut indie game of 2025 at the Game Awards this year. And to me, Clair Obscur is going to win that one as well. It's good to see Blueprints in there and Megabonk, but I feel like Clair Obscur is going to wrap that one up as well. But it's nice to see other indie games getting a mention in another category, which it might not win in Best Indie Game. That's all we got time for today. If you've made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you very much for watching. Again, like I said, I'd love to hear your opinions. Let me know in the comments. Feel free to give me a like and subscribe if you like this video. I really appreciate you being here, so thank you very much. And I'll see you again next time for another video. Take care of yourselves.